Welcome to Infinite Universe with interesting episode. Imagine a machine that could completely change how people travel. A machine that could erase the distance between countries and cities, rewrite the way we move across the planet, and challenge everything we know about airplanes and flying. Japan, a country known for futuristic ideas and bold technological steps, is now working on something that goes beyond all previous designs and upgrades. This isn't just about adding better engines or smoother wings. This is something entirely new. It's quiet, fast, and better for the environment than anything that came before it. But what makes this new technology special isn't just the impressive machines, it's the timing. While other parts of the world are still arguing about pollution, traffic jams, and how to cut carbon emissions, Japan might have already taken a big step forward without anyone noticing. Somewhere in the middle of these new innovations is a project so bold that it sounds almost impossible. Yet the work has already begun. So what is Japan building now, and why does it feel like no one else is doing it this way? One of the most exciting projects is called ZEST, which stands for Zero Emission Supersonic Transport. This idea is more than just about making airplanes faster. It's about creating a new way to fly that doesn't harm the environment. ZEST is designed to fly at speeds faster than Mach 4. That means it could go from Tokyo to Paris in less than 3 hours. Right now, that same trip takes around 12 hours on a normal plane. So, if ZEST becomes real, it would cut travel time across continents by more than half. But speed is only part of the story. What makes ZEST different is its goal to have zero emissions. Instead of using jet fuel like traditional planes, ZEST would run on hydrogen-powered engines that breathe air and don't release carbon dioxide. It's a completely clean way to fly, at least in theory. The people building ZEST are some of Japan's top engineers. They are working closely with Airbus, a major European aircraft company. Although ZEST is still in its early planning and design stages, the long-term plan points toward having this kind of plane ready by the 2030s or maybe the year 2040. Some people in the aviation industry are unsure if it can really work. They wonder if hydrogen engines can actually perform well at such high speeds, and whether they will be affordable enough to build in large numbers. Still, if Japan can make it happen, then ZEST won't just be another fast plane. It will become a guide for how to fly quickly and cleanly in the future. But ZEST isn't the only ambitious idea in Japan's lineup. There's also the Mark II Aurora, a spaceplane being developed with support from Japan's space agency JAXA and airline ANA, in partnership with Dawn Aerospace. This aircraft is designed to take off like a regular jet from a normal airport runway. But once in the air, it can climb to the edge of space all without needing rockets or launch pads. This means it could carry satellites, perform scientific experiments, or transport special cargo in ways that are quicker and more affordable than ever before. The best part is that the Mark II Aurora is not just a dream. It has already completed supersonic test flights, showing that the design actually works. Japan sees this aircraft as something useful not only for science and cargo but also for the military and even space tourism. Anna's interest in the project shows that companies are seriously looking at how this technology could be used in everyday services. Imagine taking a flight that touches space on your way to delivering a satellite or exploring new scientific frontiers. However, there are still concerns about whether the aircraft can handle the extreme heat that comes with multiple launches and landings. Also, laws and safety rules might slow down how fast it can be used in real missions. But if Japan succeeds, the Mark II Aurora could challenge other companies around the world that are trying to create reusable spaceplanes. Another major project is the Mitsubishi FX fighter jet, also known as the F-3. This aircraft is the most advanced fighter Japan has ever tried to build. It's designed to replace the older F-2 fighter and bring Japan's air defense into the next generation. The FX is meant to be a sixth-generation jet, which means it includes many new features that are not even in the most modern fifth-generation fighters like the F-35. The FX will use artificial intelligence to help the pilot make better decisions during battle. It will be able to fly alongside drones and control them during missions. It will also include the latest stealth technology, which helps it avoid radar detection, as well as long-range weapons and strong defenses for dangerous situations. The FX isn't just a Japanese project. It's being developed together with the United Kingdom and Italy. The idea is to mix Japan's advanced design skills with Europe's experience in building powerful fighter jets, such as the Tempest project. However, big international projects like this can be hard to manage. There are always risks of delays, cost overruns, or disagreements between countries. Japan is planning to have the FX ready by around 2035. If things don't go as planned, Japan may continue to rely on its fleet of F-35s for longer than expected. Still, if everything works out, the FX could change the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region. As tensions grow in that part of the world, Japan's ability to build and control its own next-generation fighter could become very important. Before the FX, there was the Mitsubishi X2 Shinshin, a special aircraft built to test new stealth technology. It first flew in 2016 and wasn't meant to be used in combat. Instead, it was a demonstration plane that allowed engineers to try out advanced ideas, like 3D thrust vectoring, which helps a plane move more sharply in the air, and special materials that make the plane hard to see on radar. Nearly all the parts of the X2 were made in Japan, showing that the country could build high-tech aircraft without needing help from other countries. Even though the X2 didn't go into full production, it played a big role in helping Japan move forward with its own aircraft technology. It provided important data and experience that helped shape the plans for the FX fighter. Some experts believe that parts of the X2 design might be used again in future unmanned aircraft. Whether the Shinshin was just a one-time test or part of a bigger plan, it proved that Japan can lead in building modern military aircraft. Not all of Japan's new aircraft are for the military or for space. Some are made for everyday people. One such example is the Tetra Aviation Mk5, a fully electric flying machine built for one person. It takes off and lands vertically, like a helicopter, so it doesn't need a runway. The frame is made of carbon fiber, which makes it light, and it uses 32 rotors to lift off the ground. It also has wings, so it can glide through the air once it's up. The Mk5 can fly up to 160 kilometers, or about 100 miles, on a single charge, and it can go as fast as 100 miles per hour. This makes it a great choice for short trips, especially in cities or over traffic. The Mk5 made its public debut at the Aviation show in the US and got attention for its simple, futuristic design. What's really different about this aircraft is its focus on individual travel, not moving large groups of people. The idea is that one day people might be able to call for a flying taxi just like they order a car from a ride-sharing app. But there are still questions about how fast this kind of technology can be approved and whether the rules can be changed to allow flying vehicles in city skies. Still, the fact that a Japanese company is developing something like this shows confidence in the idea that flying through cities could one day be a normal way to get around. A similar project is the SkyDrive SD-05, Japan's first true flying car built for real use. It's also fully electric and takes off vertically. It's made to carry 2 people and is designed to be small and light, perfect for short flights in cities. It can fly at about 60 kilometers per hour and go up to 10 kilometers in distance. That may not seem far, but in a crowded city, it could make a big difference. While many flying cars are built to be fancy or fast, the SD-05 is meant to be practical. It's built to work as an air taxi. In fact, Japan plans to use it at the 2025 Osaka Expo to show people what it can do. That goal shows how serious Japan is about using flying vehicles as part of its future transportation system. There are still some big problems to solve, like battery limits, flight safety, and getting government approval, but if the SkyDrive SD-05 becomes successful, it might be the first flying car system available to the public in Asia. Another exciting project is the Mitsubishi AI-driven unmanned jet. This is one of Japan's most daring efforts in building future military aircraft. The jet is built for one person, but it doesn't need a pilot on board. Instead, it's controlled by artificial intelligence. The AI runs the entire flight, from takeoff to mission goals, and can make decisions on its own. That means it's not just a drone that someone controls from far away, it's a thinking machine that can carry out missions on its own. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries is developing this jet to help with future military missions. It could be used to jam enemy radar, spy on targets, or fly alongside human pilots as a loyal wingman. Testing is set to begin in 2025. One of the main goals of this jet is flexibility. The AI is designed to learn from each mission and get smarter over time. It may also be able to fly as part of a group of jets, working together like a team. If successful, this jet could lead to a new era where machines do more of the flying in dangerous situations, helping or even replacing human pilots. Lastly, there is the Archer Midnight, another electric aircraft that takes off and lands vertically. It was made in the United States, but Japan is playing an important role in helping it expand. The idea is to use this jet as a fast and quiet way to travel around cities or between nearby locations. Japan's interest in this type of aircraft shows that it's not just building its own machines, but also working with others to bring the best ideas to life. Together, all these projects show a clear picture. Japan is not just building faster planes or smarter jets. It's rethinking how humans move on Earth, in the air, and even into space. These machines could change travel forever. Some of them might seem too bold or far ahead of their time. But history shows that Japan often makes the impossible possible. Whether it's in military defense, space travel, or daily commuting, Japan is quietly pushing ahead while the world watches. And if even a few of these ideas work out, the skies of tomorrow may look nothing like the skies we know today. Japan is making a bold move to change the future of transportation, especially in its busy cities. One of the most exciting developments is a new type of aircraft that looks like it came straight out of a science fiction movie. A Japanese company called Source is planning to buy 100 units of a special aircraft called the Midnight. This isn't a regular airplane, it's designed to fly short distances within cities. The Midnight can carry 4 passengers and a pilot, and it's meant to take people quickly from one part of a city to another, like from downtown to the airport or from one suburb to another. It's quiet, runs on electricity, and doesn't produce any pollution, which makes it perfect for crowded and noisy cities. The aircraft is meant to cover distances of around 32 kilometers, which is about 20 miles. One of its main strengths is how fast it can land, recharge, and take off again. That's important in places where people are always on the move. Japan's interest in this kind of flying vehicle shows a bigger plan to become a leader in clean, fast, and high-frequency transportation within cities. Everything is pointing toward the future, especially with the upcoming Osaka Kansai Expo 2025. There is a lot of pressure on companies and the government to show that these new ideas are not just dreams but actually possible and ready to work in the real world. However, there are still a lot of challenges. Right now, they are still working on where these aircraft will land, how their batteries will be charged, and how the airspace will be managed to avoid accidents. These things need strong planning and approval from regulators. But if everything goes smoothly, Japan might be one of the first countries to include these flying taxis into everyday life. Even though the Midnight aircraft is made by a foreign company, people in Japan might soon see it flying above their cities often, helping connect places more easily without being stuck in traffic. But this isn't the only interesting flying machine coming out of Japan. Another impressive aircraft is the Shinmeiwa US-2. This is an amphibious plane, meaning it can take off and land on both land and water. It was built especially for search and rescue missions in tough ocean conditions. Made by Japan's Shinmeiwa Industries, this aircraft is used by Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force. What makes it so special is its ability to land and take off even when the water has waves as high as 3 meters, which is around 10 feet. That's something very few aircraft can do. It can take off in just 280 meters, which makes it perfect for use in small or remote areas. This aircraft can fly more than 2,800 kilometers without stopping and can carry more than 20 people at a time. That makes it very useful during natural disasters or emergency situations, especially in remote islands or when rescue teams need to reach people in trouble at sea. It has some very advanced features like boundary layer control to help with smooth takeoff and landing, large turboprop engines, and electronic flight controls. Its performance has caught the attention of other countries, including India, though sales have been slow because of the high price and political discussions. Still, the US-2 is a valuable aircraft, especially for rescue missions, and it shows how skilled Japan is in building specialized planes that work in extreme conditions. Another aircraft worth mentioning is the Kawasaki P-1. This is Japan's first maritime patrol aircraft that was fully developed in the country for military use. It wasn't adapted from a commercial airplane, it was made from scratch to do things like find submarines, monitor the ocean, and gather information. It uses 4 low-noise engines so it can fly quietly over the sea, which helps it detect even silent submarines. The aircraft comes with high-tech sensors like radar that can see small objects in rough seas, sonobuoy systems to listen underwater, and special equipment to detect magnetic fields from submarines. The P-1 is not just a flying sensor platform. It's armed with torpedoes, depth charges, and missiles to destroy threats in the water. One of its most special features is the use of a fiber-optic flight control system, called fly-by-light. This is different from the usual fly-by-wire system because it uses light signals instead of electric ones. This reduces interference and improves reliability, especially when using a lot of sensitive sensors. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force already uses the P-1 for its regular patrols, and it has been seen in joint exercises with other friendly countries. As tensions grow in the Indo-Pacific region, this aircraft becomes even more valuable for long-term, quiet surveillance over wide ocean areas. Other countries that use older aircraft like the P-3 might one day be interested in replacing them with the P-1, though only time will tell. Then there's the Kawasaki C-2, which is Japan's most advanced military transport aircraft. It was developed to replace the old C-1 and to provide both short-distance and long-distance cargo delivery. Unlike many military transport aircraft that are based on passenger jets, the C-2 was built entirely from scratch to meet Japan's specific needs. It has a high-wing design, 2 powerful engines, and can carry up to 36 tons of cargo. That includes tanks, helicopters, and large equipment. It can fly over 8,000 kilometers without needing to stop and can reach cruising speeds of around 890 kilometers per hour, which is faster than many similar transport planes, even some from the US. The C-2 is not just big and fast. It's also stable in flight, easy to control, and can land in smaller runways. That makes it useful in emergencies like earthquakes or floods, as well as for military missions. Japan has already used it in the Middle East and for disaster relief inside the country. There is some quiet interest from other countries, but Japan's strict rules about exporting military equipment make it hard to sell. Even so, the C-2 is a big step forward in Japan's ability to move supplies and people wherever they are needed without help from other countries. Another modern aircraft from Japan is the Subaru Bell UH-2 helicopter. It is also known as the UHX and was developed by Subaru Corporation in partnership with Bell Textron, a well-known American company. It is based on the trusted Bell 412 helicopter but has been redesigned to meet the needs of the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force. It comes with better avionics, stronger engines, and a stronger structure to improve safety and performance. This helicopter can do many jobs, moving soldiers, carrying cargo, helping in disasters, and conducting rescue missions. Even though it's not flashy or futuristic looking, the UH-2 is a reliable and practical helicopter. It's designed to be easy to maintain and dependable over long periods. Production is expected to increase in the next few years. There's even the possibility that it could be used for civilian purposes like carrying equipment to offshore oil platforms or fighting forest fires. Since Subaru is involved in its production, there's a chance this helicopter could be built on a larger scale. And because Bell is known around the world, there might be future export opportunities. While it's not a revolutionary design, it meets the current need for replacing older helicopters with something more modern and reliable. Now let's talk about something that has really surprised people, the Honda Jet Elite 2. This is a small business jet made by Honda, the same company famous for making cars. The Honda Jet is designed and built in the US by Honda Aircraft Company, and it has a very unique look. Its engines are placed above the wings instead of below them. This design reduces drag, makes the plane more fuel efficient, and creates more space inside the cabin. It can fly at around 778 km per hour, which is about 485 miles per hour, and has a range of over 2,600 kilometers. That means it can fly across a large country or region without stopping. The flight deck includes a modern Garmin G3000 system, which has features like auto throttle and even automated landing, which help the pilot and make flying safer. What makes the Honda Jet really stand out is how comfortable it is. The cabin is quiet and spacious compared to other light jets, and it can be customized to look and feel luxurious. Honda's attention to detail shows in the small things: better aerodynamics, lighter materials, and less time needed for maintenance. While most people don't think of Honda as an airplane maker, this jet is slowly changing people's minds. It may even encourage other Japanese companies to get involved in the business jet industry. For now, the Honda Jet Elite 2 shows that a consumer-focused brand can successfully enter the world of private aviation and leave a big impression. Looking back, it's important to remember the Namco YS-11. This aircraft holds a special place in Japan's history. It was the first commercial passenger airplane fully designed and built in Japan after World War II. Built in the 1960s by the Nihon Aircraft Manufacturing Corporation, it was created to help Japan restart its aerospace industry. The YS-11 was a twin-engine turboprop made for short flights and was used by airlines in Asia, North America, and South America. More than 180 units were made, and for a time, it showed the world that Japan was becoming a strong industrial power again. Even though it was important, the YS-11 couldn't match the performance and size of Western aircraft. It also had a complicated maintenance process and didn't offer much support for airlines that bought it from outside Japan. As jet-powered aircraft became more popular, the YS-11 was taken out of service earlier than expected. However, some planes continued to fly with Japan's military and Coast Guard until the 2010s. Today, the YS-11 is outdated, but the lessons learned from building it helped lay the foundation for future Japanese aviation projects. Now that people are again interested in small, sustainable regional planes, the YS-11's legacy might help guide the next steps. Finally, we come to the Kawasaki OH-1 Ninja. This was Japan's first scout helicopter made entirely within the country. It was created in the 1990s to replace the older OH-6 helicopter. The OH-1 focused on stealth, meaning it was designed to be harder for enemies to see or detect using radar or infrared sensors. It had 2 seats in a line, powerful engines, and modern electronics, making it very good at finding targets and giving information to other units. It was agile and precise, and had advanced features for its time. But only around 40 were ever built, which was far less than expected. Why so few? The cost to build it was very high, and there were no buyers from other countries. At the same time, the world was starting to move towards drones and unmanned systems, which could do similar jobs without risking a pilot's life. As a result, Japan began shifting its focus and funds to other platforms like the UH-60J and new drones. Still, the OH-1 remains a symbol of how far Japan's aerospace industry had come. It proved that Japan could build its own high-tech helicopters. Some of its design ideas might one day be used in hybrid helicopters and drones, combining the best of both worlds. These aircraft, from flying taxis and stealth helicopters to amphibious rescue planes and futuristic business jets, show the wide range of innovation happening in Japanese aviation. Some are built for the military, others for private or commercial use, but all of them reflect the country's deep engineering knowledge and focus on making the future cleaner, faster, and more efficient. Whether flying above cities, across oceans, or into disaster zones, these machines represent more than just technology. They are a glimpse into the world Japan is trying to build. If all of this has sparked your curiosity, there's much more to discover. Keep exploring the fascinating world of aviation and technology, where the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Thanks for watching. Keep it and stay tuned. Like and subscribe our channel. Have a good day.